welcome back. And if you're new here, this is going to be the perfect video for you because I'm going to definitely be getting personal, more into my story, kind of a little bit more of a background, and hopefully you get inspiration and you learn from me, right? That's always what I'm all about. Learn from me if you don't do anything else. I'm 31 years of age, and I've made a lot of mistakes. Unfortunately, I have a lot of debt, especially when it comes to student loans. And then I was that guy that didn't finish school. Don't worry, I got a plan. Definitely finish school, educate yourself. Don't just run up debt almost for no reason. But I'm sure I learned a lot during that period and phase of my life. I made obviously a decent amount of poor financial decisions. I didn't have obviously the proper mentorship, or let me not even say that. I just misutilized my opportunities that I had for education. I lacked a lot of self accountability. So that's why I want to take that back, because I'm quick, and my wife reminds me all the time, I'm quick to try to blame somebody or something for what's going on in my life. And I just have to man up and take accountability and stop doing that. I want everything for my family, though. I'll never stop wanting to obtain and providing the best life for my family. And reality is really settling in right now for me because I have to live, or I need to live below my means, especially for a decent amount of time, probably 12 to 24 months. I really hope I'll be able to do this. So that way I'll be able to meet my goals, get my savings back up. I took a chunk out of my $1,000 savings to self-educate myself and move forward. So I got to put the money back into there, and then uh, get my budget back together. Like I said, get all the debt, all the bills, and start paying them. And then, uh, what is it? Saving, debt, bills. Where was I going with this? I need to get everything together. And oh yeah, live below my means. So in doing that, I'm going to be focusing on the bills and the budget, and just making the money work for me, and valuing it and giving it a responsible duty instead of being so irresponsible with my money. And definitely learn from me and apply the things that I just said, because if you don't, it's just not worth it. You don't want to be where I'm at. We're not supposed to compare ourselves. That's something I was going to get into a little bit later. But, learn from me. Please do it the right way. If you have time, I feel like a lot of my audience is, I wouldn't say my age. I feel like maybe younger. Either way, if you're not doing it, do it now. Don't procrastinate any longer. I'm definitely married, and how can I'm trying not to talk your head off too much, but I do want you to have the information, right? Or hear the story a little bit. Not the story, but I married the love of my life too early. I feel like I did ask God. I prayed to God and specifically asked for a Christian, God-fearing woman, and my wife is what I got. I met her at McDonald's, the only fast food place that I ever worked at, and God willing will probably be the only fast food place I ever worked at in this life. So I got blessed with just about, the perfect woman for me. It's my soulmate. We are still together, but I have made, and it's not easy. You see, I close my eyes and everything. It's not easy to sit here and look you square dead in the eyes and tell you I've made one too many mistakes. Like, they range, and it's messed up. It's a cycle. I just have to own up to it and try my best to figure out how I can get a woman to continue to, she loves me to an extent, but to fall back in love with me and trust me again after I've broken trust in so many ways. And that's like the biggest thing in a relationship is trust. And we made a video just kind of talking about a lot of the issues, especially in that current moment in time. But you got to realize, over a decade, I've done a lot. I put her through a lot, And sometimes it just messes me up because I know that I need to put in so much more effort than what I was, and I'm gonna refrain from saying what all I need to do because but I've been getting wise advice on, like, hey, stop saying it all, don't talk about it, basically be about it. So I won't go too much into depth there. We have a starter from the bottom story though, and I love that. We never gave up on each other. Um, I want to know your perspective on, because I'm all for you building up yourself, right? Don't have no. Let me not say don't have kids, because that's something I definitely want to talk to you about. But let's say you're still young, right? You got time. You're not worried about having kids yet. You build yourself up, your career. You're one of the top dogs, right? Now, I don't know, let's just say it takes you to about 35, because if we're gonna say you're the man, 35, but if we're gonna say you doing all right, you decent, let's just say 30-ish. And at what point, or do you have the feelings of, okay, like, the gold diggers, or she just wants me because I'm well established? Like, does that ever cross your mind? If you're in that position now, like, I don't want to think like too shallow or anything. I just want perspectives on, would you want to start from the bottom with your spouse, or would you prefer to meet them once you're already well off, made, and established? What's your preference there? And I I love and appreciate how me and my wife, like, we have never given up on each other, and how obviously we have came up from the bottom. I can trust her, that it's not about money. Obviously, a lot has been said, and I will probably be making more videos about the good and the bad and the in between of marriage and relationships. It's just not easy because we do provide that raw, honest truth and feedback, and not feedback and content. Um, Dang, I'm trying my best to not say nowadays. So I'm gonna get right down into it. People, and I'm all about. Let me just kind of give a disclosure. I'm trying to battle this sun, and look at you at the same time about having kids. Now, I personally, my daughter, our daughter, has been a huge motivator for me. It helps me to push me. I have someone depending on me to provide for, that just literally thinks that I'm everything and some. I was gonna say in a bag of chips, but it's so much more. Like, I love my daughter. If she was here right now, she would tell you I'm the man. And um, sometimes within the community, and I know there's people that feel like there's a time when you should have a child. And I was in position and am in position. That's why I work so hard, right? To be able to afford our daughter is messed up saying it like that. Uh, but I understand. And you have to be able to do whatever it takes to provide for your family. I'm not promoting any kind of deadbeats, parents, or anything like that. And I feel like if you're any type of percentage of a good parent, you're gonna do everything you can for your child. In the same breath, though, I do understand people's standpoints that say, like, hey, you shouldn't have a kid. I'm no judgment or anything like that. But if you know that you're homeless or paycheck to paycheck or below that or anywhere in between, um, I don't think it's wise to have multiple children. But if you do, just understand that God isn't going to put anything on your plate that you can't get through. And I'm always going to look for a positive way to help you. And I know that you can get through it. But I did just want to touch on that because I do obviously have a daughter, and I have a lovely wife. I just have to do better, and man up and take accountability, which I will be doing, and keeping God first. Everything will fall into play. But again, actions speak louder than words, and I don't want to tell you everything on what I need to do just for the sake of uh, I don't need any interruptions, interference. If you're catching my drift, And my next point and topic with you, and value I hope that you definitely get from this is, don't get caught up in comparing yourself with other people. I found myself doing it at work when one of my coworkers was saying how he has problems with being a new homeowner, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, like, am I really that far behind? Like, no, I'm not. I had to catch myself. I'm right where God wants me to be, but I haven't scratched the surface of being a homeowner. I want our family to have our own home. When I was thinking about getting a house because I wanted to start growing crops, my uncle respectfully reminded me, humbled me, that the job market is essentially seems like it's unbearable. Not the smart time, not a smart time to look for a house, for one, and two, I have to get my credit together. I have to be in position. I believe even my nana said I have to get this debt down. I have to get these bills under control because having a house, the bills seem to go up just a tick, and I'm just looking around like, man, like I got to get myself together in position. And there's people with multiple houses, and I don't even have one, but that's why I'm not going to compare, and I'm going to keep on running my race. And it's not a marathon, or it is a marathon, not a sprint. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is, if you have money problems or other problems, right? Because I love staying relatable. I love being able to help you out. And what's been on my heart is, because I talk to my brother a lot, my only friend. Oh, yeah, I have one friend, I claim as a brother. My circle has gotten real tight. So I have literally one friend, and that's outside of the friendship that I have with my mother, my wife, my nana, and my daughter, and God, Jesus, right? So outside of that, I have one friend who I claim as a brother, and he's got like big time money problems. And sometimes, I don't know, I may have to tell him this directly, like, that's a blessing of in and of itself. For you to have a large amount of money, you've been blessed with that. Okay, now your issue is, how can you obtain it and make it grow, build it up, right? Multiply it, but you got there. Always understand that there's always going to be someone in a worse position than you. I know, and I used to drive by the bus stop. I used to be taking the buses. I would see people, and it's like, dang, I don't even have a vehicle. Or you can think, dang, I don't even have a pot to use the restroom in. Um, but it can always be worse. So keep moving forward. That's definitely what I want you to gain out of that, for sure. And learn that we must do whatever it takes to secure our own future. We can't be having all of our eggs into one basket. That's why I'm making a plan again to go over and follow my budget. I'm going to be doing everything that it takes to get myself out of debt, save up, and invest, slowly but surely. Investing is huge. I'm getting reminded of that. So I will be definitely investing again. And like I said, I'm saving up to educate myself. I just have to stay focused and do it one step at a time. Uh, yeah, just to take it one step at a time. I had to catch myself not getting too much into detail because you know who, and I don't want any interference to go on. Just know that you have to have your plan. You have to stick to your plan, and you're gonna be seeing a lot unfold here for sure as I show you. Don't forget, always remember, Kingdom family, that there's going to be multiple paths in multiple ways in how to live this life. With the different paths that you take, there are going to come different obstacles, different challenges, right? Whether you have a spouse, if you decide to have one, if you decide to have kids or not, you're gonna have some type of challenge, some type of tribulation. Um, and that's mainly why I'm saying this. Whether you have a vehicle or not, it's gonna have its pros and its cons. So regardless of whether you decide to have these things, whether you decide to have a home or not, um, yes, you can save an expense. Yes, you can save some problems. Yes, you can. I don't know exactly the name of it for when you believe in not having kids because you're not a millionaire or billionaire yet. Either way, there will still be problems no matter which way you go or take whichever route. That's why I'm always going to encourage you. If you're not a believer, I definitely encourage you to tap into that, to take them up on that, because whatever is on your plate again, you'll be able to get through. Especially if you have God as one as your strength and your resource. Um, and I definitely want you to stay encouraged, Kingdom family. Keep moving forward. Like I said, always uh, invest in yourself and educate yourself. And I challenge you to do at least one good deed a day. It could be something simple as giving a compliment, put a smile on somebody's face. If you can do actual nice thing for somebody, definitely do that. But just each and every day, try to focus on, positives in your life, and doing something good for someone else outside of you, serving your community. At least, like I said, just start off one person, one thing. Sure, you can even text somebody. And I love you, Kingdom family.